If you want a gimbal for your iPhone 17 Pro Max that provides steady footage, advanced capabilities, and supports a heavier setup while remaining compact, you're in the right place. Today, I'll share what I love about the Hohem iSteady V3 Ultra, along with creative shot ideas to help you capture dynamic footage. Also, be sure to stick around till the end to see the final video results, including the behind the scenes footage. Big thanks to Hohem for sponsoring this video. With that said, let's get started. So let's explore my favorite highlights of the Hohem iSteady V3 Ultra, starting with its payload capacity. Many foldable gimbals on the market have a maximum payload of 300 grams. Exceed that limit and the gimbal begins to struggle. However, the iSteady V3 Ultra can handle an impressive 400 grams. Now, the iPhone 17 Pro Max weighs 242 grams, so most foldable gimbals can accommodate it, but many of us also use a protective case. For instance, if I add the freewell case, the total weight rises to 306 grams, which is slightly above the limit but works with most foldable gimbals. When you add a variable ND filter, which is often necessary for achieving a natural looking motion blur, the total goes up to 344 grams. Adding an SSD for external recording takes it to 364 grams. If you want optimal performance while using a case, VND, and SSD, the Hohem iSteady V3 Ultra is the better choice due to the higher payload capacity. You can also accommodate certain third-party lenses, but if you exceed the 400 gram limit, it's better to consider a stronger gimbal. Hohem also offers the M7, which supports a payload of up to 500 grams for even heavier setup. I'll leave a link to it in the video description below. Next is the AI tracker. Most foldable mobile gimbals feature an AI tracker that locks onto a subject and follows it throughout your shot. This is especially useful if you're filming solo and want to add camera movement to your video. If you're vlogging with the main camera on the back, which has a higher quality lens, the AI tracker ensures you stay centered in the frame so you don't have to worry about being cut out. While you can use the Hohem app to track your subject, the AI tracking module allows you to use any app. You aren't limited to just the dedicated app. You can utilize the default camera app on your iPhone, or as I prefer, the Blackmagic camera app, which offers far more professional controls. The AI tracker also detects hand gestures, allowing you to signal when to start or stop tracking, which is really convenient. Now, the V3 Ultra really stands out in several ways. Unlike most gimbals that come with just an AI tracker module, the V3 Ultra includes a live feed monitor. This combination allows me to see a real-time preview while tracking myself and helps me confirm whether the tracking is still on target. This was first introduced on the Hohem iSteady M7. The remote displays the live feed from the AI camera, providing a similar field of view to the main 1x lens on the iPhone. However, if you use other focal lengths like the telephoto or ultra-wide, the live feed won't adjust the field of view, so that is something to keep in mind. Additionally, it features a touch screen remote control, allowing you to access different gimbal settings and draw a box around the subject you want to track. The remote is also detachable, so you can control it from up to 10 meters away. With the controller near me, I can use the live feed and joystick to adjust my framing easily. I can also start and stop recording, making it super convenient since I don't have to run back and forth. Another feature of the Hohem iSteady V3 that can be seen as both an advantage and disadvantage is the built-in clamp. Unlike most modern foldable gimbals that use a magnetic mount system, the Hohem iSteady V3 has a built-in clamp. While setup may take a bit longer than with a magnetic system, the built-in clamp provides a secure hold, making it particularly effective for action shots or filming from vehicles. Another feature that I believe especially vloggers will appreciate is the ability to film in 360-degree infinite pan tracking. This means you can track yourself while showcasing your surroundings, and this without limitation. Additionally, if you create instructional videos, you can move around hands-free without worrying about being cut out of the frame. Enough talking, let's actually see how the V3 Ultra performs with the iPhone 17 Pro Max. So let's quickly look at the accessories that I'm using for this shoot. I'll be using the Hohem iSteady V3 Ultra with the iPhone 17 Pro Max, and I'm using a VND filter 1 to 5 stop from Freewell. I also brought the 6 to 9 stop with me in case it gets really sunny, but it doesn't look like the sun is coming out. So I think I'll be good with the 1 to 5 stop VND. Now, the reason why I'm using a VND is so that I can follow the 180-degree shutter rule to get that natural motion blur. And I'm also using the Lexar Professional Go portable SSD. This has 2 terabyte. Now, you don't need to use an SSD, but the reason why I'm using it is because it balances out the VND when mounting it on the V3 Ultra. And also, by recording externally, it's much easier to transfer the files later on my computer. In terms of camera settings, I'll be using the Blackmagic camera app because it gives me more control over my image. Head over to settings. For the codec, I'll be using HEVC H.265, which gives me small file size but still delivers excellent video quality. Regarding resolution, I shoot in 4K and color space Apple Log 2. This way I can color grade my footage later on in post with more flexibility. Now, because I'm shooting in Apple Log, the image will look flat, so you will need an assisting LUT. To do that, head over to LUT and then be sure to turn it on and select Rec 709 Neutral LUT. This way you won't get that flat image and can better judge the exposure. In the camera settings, also make sure lock white balance on record is enabled. This way, when you start recording, it will lock the white balance automatically. You don't want your white balance to shift while recording because this will ruin your shot. In the camera viewer, regarding frame rate, I'll be switching between 25 and 50 frames per second, 25 for normal looking footage and 50 frames per second for slow motion. Then I set my shutter angle to 180 degree. This will give me this natural motion blur that you are seeing. And if you're using shutter as your measurement, then that would be 1/50 if you're shooting 25 frames per second, or 1/100 if you're shooting at 50 frames per second. Also, make sure to lock your shutter speed. This way, when I tap on the screen, it will only affect the autofocus. ISO, I keep at the lowest number, which is 54. Now, without an ND filter, you'll see that the image will be overexposed. So by magnetically snapping this on and twisting the VND, I can control the amount of light hitting the sensor. And to expose my shots, I like to use false color. You generally want to avoid the red area, which means your highlights are clipping. So be sure to twist the VND until you don't see any of the red area. Regarding stabilization, I set it to standard. This way it will work with the gimbal together to create smooth looking footage. I also enable the grids. This way I can compose my shots more easily. Now, when you have an SSD plugged in, be sure to head over to Media, go to Save Clips to, select Files, and choose Lexar and choose Open, and now it will record the media onto my external SSD. Yeah, so that's about it, folks. Let's start with the shooting process. So I'm going to start with a reveal shot that I can use at the beginning of the video, and I'm simply going to lift up the camera and use these plants as foreground to emphasize camera movement. Now, I'll be shooting this in 50 frames per second. This way I can slow it down later in the edit. The exposure to me looks good. This is the end framing, and I simply tap hold to where I want to lock and set focus. And then I'm gonna position myself downwards and then start recording. So there are these birds chilling on the branch, and I'm using the 100mm lens, recording in 50 frames per second, and I'm going to set and lock focus on them and start recording, and simply do a little slide shot from left to right and go. So I'm now going to create a static shot of myself. I've placed the V3 Ultra on a flat surface, and I'm going to use the live feed to frame myself and also trigger the record button. And I'm recording in 25 frames per second using the 24mm lens. And we have some nice reflections, which I think will look very interesting and make this a beautiful shot. All right, so I'm gonna head over and position myself. So I'm gonna lift this up a bit angle it over here. I think this shot looks great. So I'm gonna start the recording, move out of frame, and now I'm gonna start walking. So I'm gonna create now a low shot of me walking, and what's great is that the V3 Ultra has a built-in extension pole. I'm gonna be using the ultra wide. I'm gonna let in more light. This looks good. Invert it. Okay. And trigger the record button. Let's go. So now I'm going to capture a detail shot, and I'm going to use the 48mm lens to really get up close, and I'm going to leave the focus in auto. The exposure looks good to me. So I'm going to create a focus shift from this part to this part, which looks nice. I'm actually going to record this in 50 frames per second. Okay, just the exposure. I think this looks good. And we're gonna start recording. I'm gonna start from here, and then, ooh, it's gotten really windy. And let's just start recording and go. So I'm now going to create a tracking shot of myself. I'll be using the 13mm lens and record this in 30 frames per second. This way I can slow it down just a bit. I'm also going to adjust the exposure, let in a little bit more light, and I'm going to use gesture control to activate the tracking and trigger the record from the remote controller. Trigger the recording, activate tracking, and we're good. So I'm going to create another slide shot. I'm going to use the 200mm lens, record this in 50 frames per second so I can slow it down. And I'm going to use this grass as foreground while I move from left to right. I'm actually going to switch to the extreme stabilization. Okay, let's go. Let's do this. So I'm going to start from here and start recording and go. So now I'm going to create a parallax selfie shot of me just gazing at the lake, and I'm going to triple press on the gimbal so I can use the rear camera, and I'm recording on the 24mm lens. I'm going to use the extension pole, angle it towards me, and then I'm simply going to turn my head from right to left, okay? And then I'm going to move at the same time the gimbal in the opposite direction. And I'm also going to enable the AI tracker, start recording, and a little bit from a lower shot. And I'm recording this in 50 frames per second so I can slow it down later. All right, folks, I hope this video gave you a clear understanding of what the Hohem iSteady V3 Ultra can offer in terms of feature with the iPhone 17 Pro Max and how to use it for creative gimbal shots. If you want to learn more, I have a more in-depth video on the V3 Ultra that you can check out here. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave a comment below. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and see you in the next one.